even though the minister has revealed at least 5 names of the people that she claims served in her committee, you would have noted that in the letter that she sent us, there's one person that is concealed. There's one name whom we do not know who that person is. And simply the reason the minister states that that person is uncomfortable with them being known is ludicrous in my understanding, particularly because we've maintained the point, Chairperson, that it is not up to the minister and whoever her Casper the Ghost is to decide whether or not they're going to comply with the requests of Parliament or not. It is up to Parliament to dictate those terms, and therefore, although you said that we don't have to go through a summons process, I want to move and urge the committee to consider the following action steps, Chair. The first one, Chair, should be that the people that have been revealed, whose identities have been revealed, all of them must come before this House, this Parliament, to furnish us with a full detail of the minutes of the meetings that they held, as far as the selection and evaluation process was concerned, fully so. And equally, we'd also like to have, in addition, the report subsequently that was compiled and sent to the NSA for the final consideration of the appointment of those names. The people I'm referring to, Chairperson, are Advocate Terumutau. Advocate Terumutau, who the Minister communicated was the chairperson of this panel, however, says that never sat in any meeting. Particularly, the reason why this is a point of interest is because you would know that Advocate Mutau currently has a 2 million rands tender with the city of Johannesburg that comes directly from MMC Loyiso Masuku's department, because MMC Masuku is currently the MMC for cooperative services within the city of Johannesburg. The reason why that is a point of consideration for us and an interest is because the same Loyiso Masuku was appointed as the Food Bev board chairperson. So we want to know exactly what that relationship is, if it exists, one. Two, the second person we're referring to is Asisi Postolani. Asisi Postolani is a former SASCO member, a leader, a former ANC Youth League in the Western Cape leader, who currently serves as the advisor to the minister in her office. Number 3, we want Nelisiwe Simane, who's currently the chief of staff of the minister, to also appear before Parliament to give us her contribution in the panel that the minister says she sat in. We also want Mabuza Nkabane to come here, who's the chief director of SETA coordination, to come before this committee to directly account for the contribution they played. The same Mabuza Nkabane, you would recall, lied directly to my face when I asked him whether he knows anything about the process in the panel, and he unequivocally said no, he knows nothing. So he must come and tell us whether he lied then or whether it's the minister lying about him now. The last person would be Rulani Ngwenya, chairperson, who is currently the Deputy Director General for Corporate Services in the Department of Higher Education. These are people that the minister says served in this panel, in addition to the concealed other name. I call him Casper the Ghost, because the minister still does not want to give us. Those people must come and account accordingly. But equally, I want to refer, Chairperson, to the criminality of lying to Parliament. Equally, we've cited this as a committee before in the past, that it is a criminal offence for anybody to lie to Parliament. And equally, I would like to move, Chairperson, that you as the chairperson of this committee must consider to go lay criminal charges on behalf of this committee for people who lied before this committee. The evidence is there. Hansard provides us with that information, and we should be able to get legal advice accordingly to get that process running, and that's on behalf of the committee. You would also note concurrently, Chairperson, that the Democratic Alliance referred Minister Nkabane to the Ethics Committee for violating her ethics of code. There's an affidavit that will be readily made available to the rest of the public in that regard. So that's where I am. Did I miss anything? No. Okay. Thank you, Chair.
No, thank you very much, Chairperson. Thanks for the opportunity. Chair, let me firstly start by probably agreeing with the proposal that the panel that has been presented, as the report indicates, of the minister must appear before the committee, so that they can take the committee into confidence in relation to the process that they had followed in appointing the chairperson or recommending those suitable candidates to be appointed by the minister. But with that being said, Chairperson, I equally want to propose that we must run this process both politically and administratively. You'd understand that before the meeting of the 30th of May, Chairperson, in our interactions, the DG, as he is leading the department, he also indicated that there was no way that he was involved in the process as the leader of the department. On the meeting of the 30th of May, Chairperson, where the minister could not respond to some of the questions, one of the officials also confirmed, I think is the coordinator of the SETAs, who had confirmed that he was involved in the process in a form of receiving your applications and also processing those applications, Chairperson. I think we must not take that thing lightly. We must also find a way of processing this matter. And I think, Chairperson, it's also important that the DG, including the minister, in their responses and when they also appear, I will also propose that we should have a separate meeting, Chairperson, that the minister must come before the committee, including the DG, so that they can clarify some of these things as and when we are also calling the panel. Meaning that, Chairperson, the panel must not only appear alone, the DG must form part of that panel, the minister must form part of that panel, Chairperson. Part of the things that the minister and the DG would have to explain is their interpretation, and would plead with them not to refer us to Google or encyclopedia. It will be their interpretation of an independent panel. Because what we are seeing here is nothing independent, but rather an extension of an administration office of the DG. In fact, to a large extent here, Honorable Chairperson, the impression that has been created in the society is that the minister was at the forefront of all of this. But in actual fact, when you look at the panel that has been presented, it's actually an extension of the DG's office. And as much as we are also entertaining the issues of the minister appearing before the portfolio, this ministry has a minister and deputy ministers. Both the Deputy Minister Buti Manamela and Deputy Minister Goni of the Democratic Alliance must also appear before this committee. It is...
Yeah, it's fine.
Can I be protected, Chairperson? There is a sudden energy that we do not know what informs it.
Let's, we don't have to like what Honorable Nkabane is saying. I'm sure there are some times where we don't like what each one of us are saying, but let's remain calm. Honorable Nkabane, continue.
No, thank you very much, Chairperson. Let me re-emphasize what I've said earlier on. The minister, as and when she's appearing before the committee, the minister must be accompanied by the Deputy Minister Buti Manamela and Deputy Minister Goni of the Democratic Alliance. That's what I've said, and that's what I'm going to re-emphasize. I'll never be threatened to withdraw what I'm saying. Chairperson, as part of moving forward, I also proposed, I would want to propose the third item, Chairperson, of us to conclude this matter and make sure that the minister, including the panel, they appear before the committee within 7 days so that this matter can be resolved once and for all, Chairperson. But in the same breath, Chairperson, I will also propose that as a committee, we must begin to look into the legal framework that is there. It is not for the first time that the DG has misled this committee. It's not for the second time that the DG has misled this committee. It's not even for the third time. You know, Chairperson, it's in Tate Zungu. We have been in Parliament for a year now, but it feels like we have been here for 10 years. You are subjecting us to unnecessary trauma. You are abusive to us. From where I'm sitting, I don't understand why are we still having the DG as the DG of this department. Moving forward, you must explain to us why is he not resigning as the DG of this department. Because out of everything that we have encountered as a department, all of these things, they boil back to the office of the DG. The failure for us to spend money accordingly, the failure for us to hold people accountable, the failure for us to implement, even including in investigation reports. I mean, the Duja report, we have spent more than 100 million, I mean, more than 15 million on the report, on the investigation. But up until today, nothing has been done. That is my proposal as part of the recommendation on closing this matter, Chairperson. The DG must be taken on account, must be taken to task. I'm happy he's present today, and I'm glad that he's in a good mood. He's even smiling. I'm also in a good mood. That is my proposal, Chairperson. Thank you very much.
Let's go.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chair, Gimo meeting for today, much as your modus operandi that changes every day, we appreciate, but if Kilimo meeting, whatever that can instigate me to raise a hand, I hopefully going to do that, and I'll apologize in advance if there's something that I pick up that as I'm in the meeting, because cannot be I'm in the meeting, I listen and I close off. I listen all the time, and if there's anything that instigates my hand to be raised to address something because I'm in the meeting, I have to do that. So I really, really apologize in advance. It will happen that way until the end of the term, as long as I'm in this portfolio committee. What I wanted to talk about, Chair, is the issue of if we can give you the mandate for the way forward, in fact, to get that communication, the letter, and also get the response of the blacked out names, to get a direct, if she is going to give us those names, because we demand those names, or not, that is not going to happen, and separate. So if it's possible, if she can give us, when she comes in front of us, if beforehand in those 7 days, we can be finished with those names that she blackened out, because she has to give us the names, or still is going to be the fight that we discuss when she is here, that she has to give us those names. We want to get that information separately. Already she has given us the ones that she has given us. The other one, it will be, please, the report, when we engage with the NSA, when we talked about this, how they received the information one day that they had to approve the list of the panelists. So if we can get the letter or whatever that report that they do have, who submitted those documents, who handled the engagement with the NSA, if we can get the letter of making an appointment to meet with the NSA. I wonder if you get what I mean, because for them to schedule that meeting on that specific date, there was a communication. Who called that meeting for them to meet on that specific day, for them to look at that list that was handed over, and who presented those lists on that specific day that they met? Because the last time when we engaged, they said it was a process of just the 1 day that they got that, and they had to approve and somehow give it back to the minister. That is important to me, that we get that information of who was the driver of the whole engagement between the minister and the department. And lastly, I mean, minister, when she was here, she talked about how she didn't involve anyone at all, even the DG. And now it's a little bit of confusing when I hear that now the DG has the responsibility, because the whole meeting when we were engaging with the minister was saying the accounting authority for that. It's me that is doing that. So can we maybe ask the committee that we separate the issues? There are a lot of issues that we are dealing with. Can we mandate the chairperson to get the minister as the accounting authority specifically for this? Because we've been saying minister, 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 minister. And I agree with the DGs. They have to come also and engage, so that we can get the way forward of how can we go about planning for the future, so that something like this mustn't happen ever again. And I suspect we are going to engage with the other panelists that we have seen with the information that she has shared with us. For now, we are concentrating on the setters. We are going to engage again with the NASFAS, because it's a nightmare to the students out there. We are going to engage with the other panelists that are there, the decisions that they have made. But for now, because it's SETA, if we can champion the whole process, so that when we go to the other board, we are not going to have to go to and fro about the legal and all that. So let's champion this and try to tighten the screws on everything that we do as the committee, so that we can focus on oversight as we move forward, Chair. I'm going to break there. Thank you very much.
Who is gonna resolve the student issues about finance and accommodation when this happens like this?